Chapter 4: Efficiency through change of pitch. Speech is simply a modified form of singing, the principal difference being in the fact that in singing the vowel sounds are prolonged and the intervals are short, whereas in the speech the words are uttered in what may be called staccato tones, the vowels not being specifically prolonged and the interval being the words being more distinct. The fact that in singing we have a larger range of tones does not properly distinguish it from ordinary speech. In speech we have likewise a variation of tones, and even in ordinary conversation there is a difference of from 3 of 6 semitones as I have found in my investigations, and in some persons the range is as high as 1 octave. William Sepperquill, Popular Science Monthly. By pitch, as everyone knows, we means the relative position of a vocal tones as high, medium, low, or any variation between. In public speech, we apply it not only to a single utterance as an exclamation or a monosyllable, "oh" or "the", but to any group of syllables, words, and even sentences that may be spoken in a single tone. Distinct, this This distinction it is important to keep in mind, for the efficient speaker not only changes the pitch of successive syllables, see chapter 6 Efficiency through inflections, but gives a different pitch to different parts or word groups of successive sentences. It is the space of the subject with which we are considering in this chapter. Every change in the thought demands a change in the voice pitch. Whether the speaker follows the rule consciously, unconsciously, or subconsciously, this logical basis upon which all good voice variation is made, yet this law is violated more often than any other by public speakers. A criminal may disregard a law of the state without detection and punishments, but the speaker who violates this regulation suffers its penalty at once in this loss of effectiveness, while his innocent hearers must endure the monotony, for monotony is not only a sin of the perpetrator, as we have shown, but a plague on the victims as well. Change of pitch is a stumbling block for almost all beginners, and for many experienced speakers also. This is especially true when the words of the speech have been memorized. If you wish to hear how pitch monotony sounds, strike the same note on the piano over and over and over again. You have in your speaking voice a range of pitch from high to low with a great many shades between the extremes. With all these notes available, there is no excuse for offending the ears and taste of your audience by continually using the one note. Through the reiteration of the same tone, music as in pedal point on an organ composition may be made the foundation of beauty, for the harmony weaving about that one basic tone produces a consistent, insistent quality, not felt in pure variety of chord sequences. In like manner, the insoning voice in a ritual made, though it really does, possess a solemn beauty. But the public speaker should shun the monotone as he would pestilence. Continual change of pitch is nature's highest method. In our search for the principle of efficiency, we must continually go back to nature. Listen, really listen to the birds sing. Which of these feathered tribes are most pleasing in their vocal efforts? Those whose voices, through sweet, have little or no range, or those that, like the canary, the lark, and the nightingale, not only possess a considerable range, but utter their notes in continual variety of combination. Even a sweet-toned chirp, when reiterated without change, may grow maddening to the enforced listener. The little child seldom speaks in a monotonous pitch. Observe the conversation of little folks that you hear on the street or in the home, and note that continual change of pitch. The unconscious speech of most adults is likewise full of pleasing variations. Imagine someone speaking the followings, and consider if the effects would not be just about as indicated. Remember, we are not now discussing the inflection of single words, but the general pitch in which phrases are spoken. High pitch. I'd like to leave for my vacation tomorrow. Still, I have so much to do. Yet I suppose if I wait until I have time, I'll never go. Repeat this first in the pages indicated and then all on the one page, as many speakers would observe the difference in naturalness of the effect. The following exercise should be spoken in a purely conversational tone, which with numerous change of pitch. Practice it until your delivery would cause a stranger in the next room think you are discussing an actual incident with a friend instead of delivering a memorized monologue. If you are in doubt about the effects you are secured, repeat it to a friend and ask him if it sounds like memorized words. If it does, it is wrong. A similar case. Jack, I hear you have gone and done it. Yes, I know. Most fellows will. Went and tried one myself, sir. So you see I'm single still, and you met her. Did you tell me? Down at Newport last July and resolved to ask the question of Sawyer. So did I. I suppose you left the ballroom with music and its light, for they say love's flame is bright the darkness of the night. Well, you walked along together, overheard the starlit sky, and I'll bet. Old man, confess it. You were frightened, so was I. So you stole along the terrace, saw the summer moonlight pour all its radiance on the waters as they rippled on the shore, till all length you gathered courage when you saw the noon was nigh. Did you draw her close and tell her that you love her? So did I. Well, I didn't ask you further, for I'm sure I wish joy. Think I'll wander down and see you when you married. Hey, my boy, when the honeymoon is over and you are settled down, we'll try. What? The deuce you say? You rejected. You rejected? So was I. Anonymous. The necessity for changing pitch is so self-evident that it should be grasped and applied immediately. However, it requires patient drill to free yourself from monotony of pitch. In natural conversation, you think of an idea first and then find words to express it. In memorized speeches, you are liable to speak the words and then think what they mean, and many speakers seem to trouble very little even about that. Is it any wonder that reversing the process should reverse the result? Get back to nature in your method of expression. Read the following section in a nonchalant manner, never pausing to think that the words really mean. Try it again, carefully studying the thought you have assimilated. Believe the idea, decide to express it effectively, and imagine an audience before you. Look them earnestly in the face and repeat this truth. If you follow directions, you will note that you have made many changes of pitch after several readings. It is not works, Kilman is worry. Work is healthy. You can hardly put more upon a man than he can bear. Worry is rust upon the blade. It's not the revolution that destroyed the machinery, but the friction. Henry Ward Beecher. Change of pitch produces emphasis. This is a highly important statement. Variety in pitch maintains the hearer's interest, but one of the surest ways to compel attention to secure the unusual emphasis is to change the pitch of your voice suddenly and in a marked degree. A great contrast always arrests attention. White show whiter against black. A cannon roars louder in the Sahara silence than in the Chicago hurly-burly. These are simple illustrations of the power of contrast. The art of public speaking. What is Congress going to do next? I don't know. By such sudden change of pitch during a sermon, Dr. Newell Dwight Hill has recently achieved a great emphasis and suggested the gravity of the question he had raised. The foregoing order of pitch change might be reversed with equally good effect, though with a slight change in seriousness. Either method produces emphasis when used intelligently, that is, with a common sense appreciation of the sort of emphasis to be attained. In attempting this contrast of pitch, it is important to avoid unpleasant extremes. Most speakers pitch their voice too high. One of the secrets of Mr. Bryan's eloquence is his low, bell-like voice. Shakespeare said that a gentle, low voice was an excellent thing in woman. It is no less in man, for a voice need not to be blatant to be powerful, and must not to be pleasing. In closing, let us emphasize anew the importance of using variety of pitch. You sing up and down the scale, first touching one note and then the another above to below it. Do likewise in speaking. Though an individual taste must generally be your guide, as to whether to use a low or moderate or high pitch.